Hi, I'm Dave, owner of Futurepast Vintage Collectibles, here with my daughter Rachel.
Hello!
As we are every week.
Question mark? We're back!
We used to be every week, and now it's been about 4 years.
It's been a minute, and you can blame me for that. I'm sorry. I was
fault.
away for a long time on vacation / my honeymoon.
And she just told me, she goes, and without me, you get no videos.
That's not true. I said, we could try, and then we didn't have time. So I'm sorry, but I was gone on a vacation of a lifetime.
She went to Butte, Iowa for a month. Let me try another one. She went to Lansing, Michigan for a month.
Everyone's dream.
Yep.
No,
it was her dream.
I was actually in Japan for an entire month. My husband and I, we decided that was too long about 3 weeks in. We were like, should have been here for 3 weeks. We still had a lot of fun.
Could have had a video last week, guys.
I know.
But, yeah.
We just got a little bit too excited. But yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, incredible.
You asked me if I went to any comic book stores, and I said no to you, but I lied to you.
She lied.
I did.
I just saw that.
Because he asked me when I first got back, did you go to any comic book stores? And I was like, I saw some modern comics. And that's true.
Well, I have to think about the look in your eyes, because you're a horrible liar. It's interesting if you're not looking for someone to lie, then you don't pay.
I didn't really lie, because the place that I found this thing that I'm going to gift you on the video today, I didn't get it from a comic book store. It wasn't really a comic book store.
Crack it out. What do you got going on?
Well, I want to preface, I can't remember what the name of it is. I have a picture of it. I'll put a picture right here of it. But it was a store in Koenji, Japan, in Tokyo. And it was like an antique toy store.
Oh.
So they had like hundreds and hundreds of like old toys.
What you got?
And then they had a comic book section.
Really?
So I looked through them and I was like, I didn't know if I was going to get it because it's not the grade that you would buy it in.
Right.
But the cover artist is one of your favorites.
Well, I have so many questions. Were they American comics in the store?
Yep.
All of them? All of them?
There weren't very many comics. It was like a shelf that had comics in it.
Okay.
And all of them were American. Yeah, I don't think the only Japanese style comics manga.
Let's see what you got.
Okay. It's hiding under here.
Oh, it's a magazine. Oh, how cool.
It's for Zeta.
This is fantastic. Wow.
It's Creepy number 5.
Did you look at it inside?
I'm sure I did when I got it. I don't remember.
It's American. It's 35 cents. Mm. Wow, I love this.
Yay, you're welcome. So I did go to a comic book store, but there it is. Frankfurt Zeta.
I've actually never seen this because I'm not a big magazine guy.
I know, you're not a magazine guy, but the only reason I got it was because it's spooky and it was Frankfurt Zeta.
Oh, I love it.
So I was like, well, this is the one. I was going to save it for Christmas, so you're welcome.
That's fun.
Was that worth the month of me being gone?
Now, wait.
I don't know.
Before we even get started, we're looking at comic books today.
Big surprise. Also, if you're new here, that's what we do. We look at comic books. We sell comic books. We're comic dealers. We also talk to you guys about comics. We'll show you a bunch today. But we do claim sales on Instagram every single Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you should go check us out over there if you're not already following us over there.
Yep, and it's coming up on a year, and we've had a great time, and we've moved a lot of books, so definitely check it out. You will find things that you like. If you like bronze and copper and high grade, if you're looking for back issues to fill runs, or big keys, we sell everything. I mean, we have a different selection every week. Definitely check us out on Instagram. And let us know that you saw us on this channel.
We also started posting some stuff on Shortboxed, so check us out there. We'll add more stuff as time goes on. And then subscribe to the channel so you get notified whenever we post videos. Yeah,
and one last thing, we buy collections, folks. As a matter of fact, we buy collections. Please, if you're trying to sell any size collection, there's no collection too small or too big. We're always interested, always buying. Think of us before anyone else. Only sell comics to us. Don't sell comics to anyone else but us. Thank you very much.
The link to our website is in the description. You can message us through there or on Instagram or email, whatever. Just come say hey.
Remember, don't sell comics to anybody else.
No one else.
Just us.
All right, let's look at some books.
There's a guy. I went to Grit City while you were gone. Grit City is a one-day show in Tacoma, Washington. And there was a guy that was there. And I saw him last time I went to Grit City. And he's funny because he has absolutely no filter. And he's like, I like the videos you guys used to do. I don't like the new ones so much. And he's
Fair.
like, can you go back to doing the other videos? And I told him, I said, I think we've been kind of calling it in because before Rachel went on her trip, we're busy. I mean, we sell comic books every week, and we had this huge sale that we put a lot of work and effort into. So I thought it was funny. This is like a throwback to our old stuff, and we're going to start pounding it, showing you guys comic books. So I got Rachel a book too, and I already showed her this because I couldn't wait.
This is Vampires, #1.
It's Asylum Press, and Rachel's, go ahead and put that in our description. You can still get this on the website, and I think I got 2 of those copies.
Of this copy?
Of the
standard
raw trade dress copy. But when I saw this is a metal cover, guys.
I know the scan's not going to look as good as this does because it's so shiny.
This is the Virgin
heavy.
metal cover variant. It is, and then this is the back cover.
Yeah, I didn't scan it back, so.
And one thing I want to show you about this book, and it's new, I think you can still get these on the website. The interior is sick. And the amount of detail and work they put into this really reminds me of EC and some of the stuff that was coming out in the 50s. So,
well, and that's the whole point, right? It's like
it's
reprint
throwback.
of a pre-code.
They do Good Girl comics. They do other stuff. He was supposed to send me a box of this stuff to show you guys, and I'm sure it's in the mail somewhere. But
we'll make a video of that when we get it.
Yeah, we'll show you. But I was really impressed with this, and I really like it.
The cover's cool.
This kind of cover
tears
gets
it
me
too.
every time. I don't care what era. It's just great. And then, just so, this is also interesting. This came out in 1978, and it's so funny because religious comics, Marvel had done some religious comics, and they did one for the Pope. They did one for Mother Teresa. I don't know what other ones they did. So this is a Born Again comic, and I have several of these, but the only reason I'm showing this right now, it came out in 1978. So I was wondering, and maybe you guys can answer me, how did Stephen Colbert end up on a comic book in 1978? This is kind of the theme for tonight, and it's like these comic books that we end up picking up, they're just unusual, and usually it's like you don't have any experience with them, and I have a stack. Some of these are not unusual, but there's some kind of variation to them. I pressed some comic books for a friend of mine. And he gave me a couple books. This is one of them as a trade. And I don't know why. He goes, why don't I just give this to you and you can give it to Rachel? and I'm like, I give Rachel a lot of stuff. Why do I have to give it to her? But thank you, Eric. And he told me that like 3 times. So I'm like, I got it. And he guilted me into it. So yeah, this is Tales of the Zombie #1. It's a Boris cover. It's sick.
A magazine trade for a magazine trade.
So I asked Rachel, I'm like, hey Rachel, do you want that? She
I
goes,
said not if you really want it.
yeah, I couldn't get her to answer. I'm like, no, do you want it? She goes, yes, I want it. I'm like, so yeah, good luck keeping that in good grade.
I know.
Those things are so hard to care
And it's
for.
not like I have a box that will hold that, but whatever.
Yeah, the problems with magazines, boxes, the boards, you got to put 3 or 4 boards behind it.
And if you
some
get it
rigidity.
slabbed, it's like, it's huge.
It's easier to care for because you won't mess it up.
Right, but where do you put it? Like, there's no
But
box.
it's bigger. Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
So
Anyway.
I've picked up a lot of books along the way that have variations to them or they're interesting. And some of them I'll even ask you guys about because I've never seen them or I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we have some that I looked at for a long time, couldn't figure out anything.
I just picked up a collection based in the UK. And a couple of books that were in there were these. These are Transformer comic magazines. They're actually comic books. They're not book form on the inside. It's a 4-part series. That's #1 and 2. #2 has the Spider-Man with the black costume. Very cool. They're in really high grade. Mm-hmm. So 9698. I haven't gone in there with a fine-tooth comb and got technical about it, but in hand, I mean, they look square. There's no wear, anything like that.
The slab versions of these look so funny because they're so small. There's all this like plastic around.
They're floating
They
in
float.
nothingness.
But yeah, you can slab them though, so that's interesting.
But they're cool, and that really, Transformers continues to be popular. Now, I like the book-sized comics. I really do, especially the ones from the 70s. And also, part of pressing those books for my friend, I'm going to take this out, and you have a scan of this. I sent my brother a picture of this book, and he thought it was a regular-sized comic, but this is Haunt of Horror #1 from 1974. Greg Morrow cover. I had never seen one. Absolutely sick. Really high grade.
It's so nice too.
At least a 9.8. Books like this you can get a 10.0 on, but I don't know if it's 10.0. But it's it's in my PC anyway. And he told me he thought it was quite valuable in this grade, and it doesn't matter because I'm not selling it. Here
Yeah.
you go. Set that down.
I think the last one sold in like 2016 or 2018, so it's like really hard to know. Like
Yeah.
slabbed.
Well, and it's funny, you may not collect books, and you may, I have my hands full with comics, let alone magazines and books.
You do have a lot of books.
You know what I mean? It's like, how do you keep and store those things? But the fact is, every once in a while, you're still going to run up on something like, oh, I love that, for whatever reason. We had actually picked this up.
This is so cool. Crusade of Comics presents Spawn #1.
Yeah, so what did I say? Who did I say published that?
So it says Gladstone, but when I did some digging, it's still Image Comics that published it. So it might be
What
like
year?
1992.
Gladstone did a lot of EC reprints, and they were known for it. So I used to have them in my pool box. I used to like Gladstone reprints. And it's funny, I bought a collection that was priced interestingly. There was all these prices, and this one was priced at $250. Rachel looked it up, and it wasn't as valuable as all that.
I mean, it's still like possibly over $100. It's really nice condition. Like, it's really, really nice. So
Yeah, it's hard to say. It looks like a 9/8, but I went through it, and the imagery in it's fantastic. So if you ever get a chance to check that out, and the thing next to it is a bookmark, and it has actually a number on it. I think it was like a 9. I forget what the number was, 2,000 or 3,000, and some change. So I don't know if they only did a limited number of these or whatever. We find stuff like this all the time tucked into collections. You want to tell them about this one?
yeah, so this, it says Our United States on it. And with a little bit of digging, we found out that this is a comic book that was used in schools for educational purposes. It was made in 1949. It flips open like this, and it goes through each of the United States and gives a bunch of like historical facts about
It's
them.
really it's comic book form. It kind of reminds me maybe of Ripley's Believe It or Not, or some of those that really have these vignettes, and they're like really mini stories and 2 pages. Interesting. I mean, I like this, and whoever had this wrote in it. It could have been a teacher like Idaho that she wrote Potato State. I assume she, but fantastic book.
So cool.
Issued by JCPenney. Probably a free giveaway by JCPenney.
Or like,
for educators.
For educators. Yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, I thought it was really cool. 1949. That was a long time ago.
So I get stuff like this, and you can introduce that.
This is Fight Club 3. I think this is from it's from 2019.
Yeah, and it's an ash can that was a convention ash can. And what ash cans are, if you're not familiar with them, sometimes publishers, and they did this all the way back in the 30s, sometimes publishers will just put together a small example. It's smaller than a comic book. It's not complete. Sometimes it's not even colored. Sometimes it's black and white. But that's what it is. It's an introduction. So it came out before that comic book to kind of introduce people to the idea of this comic book by Dark Horse Comics. And speaking of Dark Horse, I think this is also a Dark Horse.
This is Aliens versus Predator, but not your typical one. It's from 1993.
Yeah.
By Chris Claremont.
Yeah. So the interior art in this, I went through it. Fantastic. Chris Claremont art.
But then
yeah, pretty cool.
It flips, and there's 2 comic books in this.
Yeah, so half the book is
this issue.
Yeah.
And then the other
orientated up, and the other half is orientated up here, so they back up to each other.
It's so cool. And the art's completely different on both sides.
It's a very cool book.
Yeah.
I picked that up in a collection, I don't know, 2 years ago.
We've had it for 2 years?
Yeah, I've had that for a long time. I don't know what to do with it. It's not really high grade. It looks like a very fine maybe because...
Maybe a giveaway or something.
Yeah. Sometimes if I don't know something about a book, I'll hold on to it. It's just like, I don't have to get rid of it.
This is... this one... Did I write it? Lady Rawhide mini comic #1. We saw this. I thought it was an ash can. But it's a mini comic book from 1995.
Yes, Topps. So if you guys remember, Topps was doing things like Jurassic Park and some other intellectual property that was kind of outside of the comic book realm. And Lady Rawhide, this is a Zorro story. So in the first page, you see Zorro. Very cool. I don't know what to do with that. So I thought I'd show it to you guys. I have some cool ones of those.
It's like the random things we get in collections that we're like, well, this is cool.
Yeah, you can show both
What do
of
we
these.
do?
I picked these up in that collection I just picked up from England.
Yeah, this is Amazing Spider-Man. This one's number 31. And then this one's number 28.
In this run with this publisher. So what publisher did I say that was? I wrote it.
Panini reprints.
Yeah, so these are reprints, and they're pence copies, right? Well, now they're pound copies, and it shows, if you don't mind.
Yeah, 2.99 or $2.99.
So I think these sold exclusively in England, and it reprints 2 comic books each. So I just thought they were interesting because I'd never seen them before. This one I think we've shown before.
Yeah, it's Keebler Company presents the New Teen Titans from 1983.
And I'm going to stick.
Do you get this in like a Keebler box? Is that how you get this?
I don't know. Possibly. I don't know.
Did Keebler make cereal or anything? I thought they just did cookies. Yeah, I feel like cookie boxes are too small to put this in.
Maybe you mailed in for it.
Oh, like it was.
But it also has a price on it as well, so it's kind of confusing. And there's an asterisk next to it.
It also has UK 40 pence on it.
In case it was being sold in the UK.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but if it was sold in the UK, it would say UK 40 pence on the top, and it would have $1 on the bottom.
All proceeds from this issue will be donated to fight drug abuse. So
how'd that go?
A book for charity. That's what it is.
Of a type. It's a book for charity for a type. So this one now, okay, Keebler, that's great. The FBI put this book out.
And I think we've shown this one before, but yeah. It's called Captain America Goes to War Against Drugs, produced in cooperation with the FBI.
I mean, yeah. FBI is getting involved, getting kids to know that we're going to go to war against drugs. How did that go? This book's 30 years old.
They didn't win. I'm sorry, Captain.
And then Radio Shack. What is their
Superman compliments of Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
What's the
it stars the
computer that saved Metropolis.
TRS-80 Computer Whiz Kid.
I love this propaganda. So here what we have is Superman saying, "Hey kids, buy electronics and learn them. Where should they buy them at? Radio Shack." And I have one question, Rachel. How did that go?
This is all of the things of the past that no longer exist.
This is interesting.
I miss Radio Shack.
Well, I find it interesting that these comic books that are attacking certain topics, right? They weren't that successful.
No, they tried. They were like, how do we get to the kids through a comic book? This one we've shown before also. It's Spider-Man and Power Pack. The National Education Association partnered with this.
Yeah, so this is battling SA.
But yeah, National Education Association.
They thought a great way to talk to kids about bad people that are out to take advantage of them was through this comic book. And this comic book kind of freaks me out a little bit because it's like, in my comic book world, I really don't like anything that's real or depressing.
Okay, so this one's Spider-Man, Storm and Power Man, brought to you by the National Cancer Society. On the inside, it says someone's name in room 10.
Yeah, it looks like it was used in schools. There are a lot of people that collect these. I never really did, though I have bought some. I know we have some from Pizza Hut, too, that are old around here somewhere.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
We've seen a lot of these come through. Here's even a much older one.
This one is Popeye the Sailor from Bold Detergent. Free from Bold Detergent, 1969. So this is a detergent one? It doesn't even it doesn't even have a price.
It does not have a price. It's a Charlton. And I went through this book, and it's a full-fledged comic book. I mean, It's got stories and stuff, and it's not just a marketing tool. It's cool. I kind of like Popeye personally.
Like maybe you got it with your detergent, like when you bought it?
That's a great question. I don't know if you also...
Does someone know? Let us know.
They could have had it like an end cap in a store when you picked up your box of detergent. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing.
Maybe it was a mail-in again, like the other one.
If you remember in the 60s picking these up, let me know.
Yeah, let me know if you know where this came from.
Or if you're in the 70s and you picked up things like this, here's one I'm curious about.
This one's so weird. We have no idea. Well, we have some idea, but not really. This is Tarzan, number 215 from 1972.
Yep.
But it's a 30 center.
Well,
but it's stamped.
It's
a stamped. I have the scan. It's a stamped 30 center, and we cannot find anything about this online.
Nope.
We think it's a reprint because on the inside it does have a stamp that indicates it could be a reprint. And the inking is a little weird.
Yeah, it's got a really interesting color strike to it. It looks like they used...
The blues are not right.
They went to print after the regular one. It's different.
So we were excited initially because 30 centers can sometimes mean that they're rare.
I never thought it was a regional price variant. What I thought was it was just an oddity. So yeah, if you've ever seen a book like this, let us know in the comments.
And I can't, even when I look up this reprint, like I can't get any information on it. CGC Census has no information on it.
Couldn't
GPA
find
has
one
no
on
information.
eBay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this for however we know, it doesn't exist, but here it is. So I don't know. It's not supposed
One
to
of the
exist.
teeming millions of people that know comic books is going to know exactly what this is. Let us know.
Please tell us, because I'm confused by it.
Saving the best for last. In the collection I just picked up, I did not know that this book had this variant. Go ahead and show the book.
It is Uncanny X-Men 141, 1981.
Pence variant. So I've never seen one of these. Seen lots of Pence variants, but I've never seen a 141 in a Pence variant. And I'm not a big Pence variant fan. I'm a fan of this, though, because I have a 9.8 of this slab now. And it's a book, I mean, obviously we got the name for our business from this storyline.
If you didn't know.
Days of Future Past. So this means a lot to us. One of my favorite covers from this run in the beginning of the Uncanny X-Men. In a Pence, though, this high grade, I got really excited. So I kind of dig finding these types of books that kind of stand out a little bit or are a bit unique. And this is just a little stack we thought we'd share with you to kind of warm things up and get back into being in front of you. Because we miss you. We miss you.
I know. I'm sorry everyone was worried about us. We're fine.
Thanks for reaching out and asking about us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's very kind.
We miss doing it as well. It took us 15 minutes to figure out how to even start because
I might put that at the end just as a fun little blooper reel.
we forgot how.
It's Rachel here. In the future, I'm editing the video, and it's been so long since we made a video that we just didn't make an outro when we recorded this. So I'm making an outro here. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Follow us over on Instagram. Claim sales. We do it every Monday. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week with another video. Bye.
Hi, I'm Dave, and this is Rachel. No. I was trying
There's
to do
like a... I don't know if you can see it in the camera. There's like a hair on it. Do you see it?
No, but get it off.
What's happening?
All right. And then it turned into, what do I do next? Okay. Hi, I'm Dave. This is Rachel. No.
Why are you doing it different?
Shush.
We haven't done this in a while.
I don't know how to do this anymore.